Hello there, Cardinals. It's me, Mr. Ernst, and today we're going to be talking about how to translate a shape. And this is all about, we're starting our Unit 5. This is going to be all about congruence, which is a very specific type of relationship between two shapes. And the first one we're going to be taking a look at is translations. We are also going to be looking at reflections, and we're going to be looking at rotations. And then finally, we'll be taking a look at dilations, and specifically how all these kind of play nice together. Whoops. So, got to manually erase all this stuff. All right, so what is a translation? Over here, I've got this fancy little triangle right there. It is points A, B, and C. Notice this is different from the Pythagorean theorem. This is point A and not side A, side B, and side C. In fact, most of the times there is a huge distinction between the side length, which is usually lowercase, and a point, which is uppercase. So we are not working with the Pythagorean theorem on this one. We're just working with the points A, B, C. So this is called triangle A, B, C. Cool? All right, so what is a translation? A translation is simply when you got a shape, and the shape is going to slide to a new position. Could be over here, could be down here, could be up here, anywhere it's sliding to. I want you to notice that when this thing is sliding to a new position, let's put it here. When it slides to a new position, nothing else about this shape changes. It doesn't rotate, it doesn't change its size, it's not like squishing or squashing, it's not doing anything like that. All it's doing is sliding to a new position. And that's a word I want you to hold on to when you think of translations, is that it slides the shape. Translations are a slide, okay? So, when we're looking at this, another thing I want you to keep in mind is after the translation, so point A went from here to here. After it is moved, the new A is called A prime. And that's how we can actually keep track of where each of these points are. So the original is A, the new one is A prime. So right here, C moved from here to here. This would be C prime, and this would be B prime. And it's kind of cool because if you look at each one of these little purple lines here, they are the exact same size and shape because each one of these points moved exactly the same distance. And now it makes it look almost like a three-dimensional, like triangular prism there, okay? And the same thing works for any type of shape. It does not have to be a triangle. So I can make any type of shape that I want here. Boop. Like this. I can make something like this. Woo! Grab this. Oops. No, that didn't work. Hold on. Forgetting how to use my tools here. Copy, paste, and there we go. Now we got it. So this one I'm going to move down here. And once again, each one of these points, this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All 8 of these points are going to map exactly down here. It has translated from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, from here to boop, 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 boop. All of those points have moved the exact same distance from one point to another, okay? So that is essentially what we're looking at when we're looking at translation. So, let's take a look at our first example. So, when we are translating, one of the key factors we're going to need to know here is how do we translate something that is on a graph, okay? So I've got this little polygon over here, A, B, C, D, and the instructions say translate the shape by x plus 5 and y minus 2. Now this is coming off of the regular point x, y. You know, we're usually seeing this. But this is telling me kind of like directions. If I was asking directions to the gas station, it's telling me my x value is going to add 5, and my y value is going to minus 2. So this is going to be very similar to how we kind of found where slope was, your change in x and your change in y. So let's start off with A. A needs to go over 5, so it's going to move in this direction by 5. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it's going to go down by 2. 1, 2. So there's my new A. Now what's cool about this is that B, let's do this for D. D is going to follow the exact same directions. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's going to come down by 1, 2. Okay? I want to emphasize the biggest mistake that most people make, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the biggest mistake that most people make when they're trying to translate a shape is by trying to put down one point and then draw the shape out over here. I promise you, if you put down one point and then try to sketch the shape out from there, you are not going to do it properly. Okay? It's a very difficult thing for your brain to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, every single one of these points are following the same directions. And then down by 1, 2. Okay? So now you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 of these little arms happening here. Each one of these points followed this directions. +5 and then -2. +5, -2. +5, -2. +5, -2. +5, -2. And now, when I go through and I connect all of my dots, you're going to notice that I have exactly the same shape as I have up there. It has been perfectly translated, moved down to this position down here. So each one of them had followed directions down here. So all you do, follow this direction and this direction to move the points from one spot to another. And then you have a happy little shape in its new little home. Oh, I do want to make sure this is properly labeled as well. So if this was A, this top one would be A prime. This one was D, so this would be D prime, B prime, and finally C prime. Cool? Again, original keeps just the regular letter. The after image is going to have the primes. Last example to take a look at here. Whoop. So sometimes we aren't given the graph, and we're just given this. Point A is at -2, 3. Translate it by blank. And just like beforehand, we can do this for each point. So, for example, I'm starting off with negative. Actually, let's do this in black. Our point is at -2 and 3. But we also have these special instructions. X value is going to -3. We're going to -3, so we need to our X value -3. And our Y value is +4. So A prime is going to be at point -2 - 3. That's going to be -5. 3 + 4 gives me +7. That's my answer. After I've translated this shape, A prime is going to be at -5, 7. Okay? This tells me that this is going to the left by 3. So wherever A was originally, it is going to go left by 3. And then it will go up by 4. So it goes up by 4. And then this is where A prime would sit. Okay? Once again, this is very similar, change in X, change in Y, to how we create slope. We aren't creating slope, but that is how we created slope beforehand. So just like how slope related to Pythagorean theorem, slope is also related to translations. Okay? And that is it. Thanks for watching the video.